Hey guys!
Alright folks, we're here today to check out the latest video from Machine Head, Unbøund. They announced a new record. I believe the name of the record is actually Unbøund, coming out on Nuclear Blast, in April, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's in April. And to add to the fact that in April, they're also going to be touring with Lacuna Coil and Unearth. What a fucking lineup that is. I think In Flames is also on that bill. It's a fucking massive tour. Perhaps one of the biggest tours in North America this year. Maybe there will be more down the line that will, match that sort of level of epicness as far as the bands involved in the tour, but this one is pretty epic. Anyhow, new album from Machine Head, new song, new video.
I'm very excited because I feel like within this year I've kind of blossomed as the Machine Head fan.
Oh,
just because
don't say.
When we started listening to them at the start of the channel, I was a fan, but I was like, power metals first.
Yeah,
I was a kid,
yeah.
And I had kid dreams. But now I'm an adult and I listen to real music.
That's a little bit of a stretch on the adult part there, but okay.
But yeah, it was just more of like, and that was no hate on power metal. I'm joking. But yeah, I was like, I'm a fan, but I have other stuff that I like, and it's not really in the wheelhouse, but I still like it. But I think over the past year, I've really come to my own when it comes to Machine Head.
So before I press play, good for you. Before I press play and we check out this new song, this new video, let me just say to you guys out there, my opening gym session song every day is Slaughter the Martyr. Of course. It's almost like I'm Triple H, but instead of the game playing
but
in the
you
background,
have to start it before you walk into the actual gym itself.
Yeah, I started in the locker room as I'm walking, because by the time I have it timed,
and then I'm walking in slow motion too.
No, because there's a huge intro in that song.
Yeah,
so by the time I get to the doors of the gym is when the song actually kicks in. And then I'm like, Slaughter the Martyr, and I go walk in.
I would say right when I sit down at my first exercise, then I want it to kick in, and then
I want it as I walk through the door, because I get in the zone.
I'm walking in slow motion, too.
I'm in the zone.
And in my head, I'm closing my eyes, and in my head, there's like those shots of like, the WWE wrestler coming down the ramp. That's like in my head.
Only in his head. All right, so...
it's in my head.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay, let me press play.
Unbøund, unbreakable, so never tear us down, never you'll wear the crown. Unrivaled power, we are unbound.
right. So in your new era of Machine Head fandom, how you feel towards this Unbound song?
It's good, dude. I don't know why it took me so long to like, not so long to like the man. I always liked the man. It just took me so long to be like, let me dive more in and experience what is Machine Head. And I think, you know what kickstarted that was us seeing them live. I can't remember if that was last year or the year before.
With Orbit Culture?
With Orbit Culture. I think that's what kicked off the interest in diving in and stuff because, dude, they're a great live band.
They are.
They're amazing.
I gotta say, I saw them live for the first time. Was my first concert ever. They were opening for Slayer in 1992, playing in Lisbon, Pavilion de Cascais, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And nobody knew who Machine Head was. Like, they just had released Burn My Eyes, their debut album. Nobody knew who they were. I was like, I don't care, I'm gonna go check. I mean, if they're on tour with Slayer, they can't be that bad. And they came out and it was like, fuck, these guys are so good. So groovy, so good. The next day I went and I bought the CD. Yeah, that's how impressed I was with them on that show. A friend of mine broke his arm in the first fucking song. Anyhow, so I see where you're coming from because I discovered them through a live experience, not through a record.
Yeah.
So I see where you're coming from.
Like, for as many record videos we did, like, you know, from like songs from the record and stuff, the live experience is what did it. You know,
they're one of the bands that I've seen live the most. Like, I've seen I mean, the first time I saw them was in 1992. So
yeah, true. Yeah, like seeing Slaughter the Martyrs and all those song Locusts.
That song has perhaps one of the best riffs of the decade.
But no, I just love that intro and how it comes back at the end. I love that shit. Like, apart from the actual song itself, the intro and the way it comes back in the end, I love it because
But the grooviness of the guitar.
Slaughter the Martyr.
That opening is fucking killer. Once you go through the intro, that opening is killer. Anyways, Unbound.
Yeah, dude, the song is fucking kick ass. With Danny Trejo on bass.
Danny Trejo on bass, dude. The guy's not even Latin.
I know, but he's
a white dude.
He has the mustache.
So, like, you're cultural appropriating the dude.
No, if anything, I don't know.
Come on, like,
with the dark lights and stuff, you know, long hair, mustache.
Unreal. I didn't see that one coming, and I'm miles away.
Really?
Yeah, the guy looks like an extra in Sons of Anarchy at the very most, but not like Danny Trejo. Wow, Jesus Christ, El Machete. Anyhow, that's a whole different.
That's a whole throwback there.
That's deep cuts. That's deep cuts.
Ain't nobody's gonna.
Only Latinos will know that shit. Only Latinos will know that shit. That is for sure. Only the vatos will know that shit. So, anyways, everything we said about the song is true, but I must say I'm not a huge fan of the chorus.
Oh, well, I still like the chorus.
I wasn't a huge fan of the chorus because that last part, that sing along part that they have there at the tail end of the chorus, I'm not totally sold on that.
I like it.
It becomes very repetitive, and I like the first part of the chorus because it almost goes into this psychedelic vibe from a song that's very groovy in the verses.
But I always feel like
kind of vibe.
The clean vocals, and like more of that like.
No, I don't mind that. I just didn't like the repetition.
I know what I'm saying, but I always feel like those clean vocals, whenever you hear them on a Machine Head song, I always feel like they do kind of bring that psychedelic vibe. Because you're going from this craziness,
super groovy, bouncy
to something with so much melody, and it kind of, it goes from your vision very focused into widening it a bit. So I always enjoy it, and I enjoyed it here. I kind of see where you're coming from, but I still enjoyed it.
Because the chorus is fine up until that point, but when you have that piece at the tail end, it almost breaks the flow that could have jumped immediately back into the verses, and I thought that would have made the song even more dynamic. Because you have that pause with the chorus that goes almost like psychedelic with the clean vocals, but then you don't have this like repetition. You just jump back into the song. It would make because the chorus really pauses the track. So getting rid of that piece at the end would make that pause shorter, which overall would make the song more fluid, more dynamic. more groovy, because the pause wouldn't be as great as it is now. So I felt like that piece was just like, oh man, like really, like just get back into that because the verses are killer. Like normally in a lot of songs you're looking forward to the chorus because the chorus is what hooks you to the song. In this track I like the verses way better than the chorus. For me the chorus almost becomes a bridge to the next verse that I want to get into, because I want to hear those guitars and I want to hear those vocals. So this song has a very interesting aspect for me, which is what sells me on the song is the verses, not the chorus. In a lot of songs, the verses are just kind of and what sells you on the song is how hooky the chorus is. This track for me has the opposite effect. Yeah, so I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, I also I could agree with that one. Yeah, because normally with these guys the chorus is what is hooking me in, but yeah, the I mean, how fucking like
the guitar sound phenomenal
and
man.
everything with the verses. Yeah,
the guitar sound phenomenal in this track. I'm glad. I wasn't sure where they were gonna go after Slaughter the Martyr. I didn't know where they were gonna go in terms of the sound of the band. The fact that they can, I kind of had a feeling like this record is going to be a very similar output to what the previous album was.
Which
I'm not hating.
I'm not hating. I loved the previous album.
It was my #1 album of the year, so I really love that album. But what I'm saying is, the moment that I saw that they were spelling Unbound with the O with the line, which is what the kind of shit that they used.
They did that in Unhollow.
Yeah, they used that in the previous record as far as the graphics are concerned. When I saw that, I was like, shit, they're continuing the same sound, the same trend of that record into this record. I don't mind, because we went a very long time without that Machine Head groovy sound. Really a very long time. I would argue too long. So having 2 albums now back to back that have that sound, it's the perfect palate cleanser after Catharsis. Because that album to me just like, you know, like at an arm's length. And by arm's length I mean Dalshin from Street Fighter, if you know what I'm saying. Like really long arm. Not an Indian arm, just a dude with a long arm. So
like
yeah.
Manute Bol.
Yes, in his prime.
In his prime, or Bol Bol.
Or Bubba T, whatever.
That's his son's name, Bol Bol.
Yeah? Yeah, fuck. If it's so great that you call yourself twice. Alright, on that note, guys, hit us up in the comment section. Let us know your thoughts on the video, on the song, on the tour. If you're in North America, are you going to this tour? Hit us up. We'll see you all at the next one.
See ya.